y'all? Good morning. Welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. I don't know why I'm here. I guess I'm gonna share some of the homeschool prep I'm doing for now. And I'm still finding the right curriculum. Let me tell you, it is like all over the board. Also, I'm watching Clueless. So I know you can buy shit like this, but I just made some because I had this stuff. So the numbers, we did numbers, colors. He's very into colors right now. And letters. So I just made these. He's very into Roy G. Biv right now. Everything in order, which I love. And then letters, I did capitals and baby letters. And then yesterday I was thinking about different subjects. And some of the things we're gonna do. I'm still figuring out what this is gonna look like for us, but I made some of these. Let's explore. What do you see? Let's count. How many? Let's affirm. I am. Let's read. Sound it out. I don't know, this just makes me feel happy doing these things. Let's organize, sort by similarity. So Niall can do a lot of this stuff, he already does. Obviously he's nonverbal, so the language aspect is a little bit different. Now you might be wondering if I'm going to get him an IEP, and I'm choosing not to in this current administration. I'm just going to work with him. I actually just saw a Indigenous Maori person talk about their language and what autism means in their Indigenous language, and the loose translation is in their own time and space, which is very much how I mother Niall, as well as am going to be schooling him. We already do like a very unschooling way. He initiates what he's interested in, and then I will follow up with what's next. Some of the things that he's very interested in that I don't really allow, that I'm going to within the school confines, is being in the kitchen, learning things like that. So I'm working on a Canva document, I have this itch, about how to make things, because he's just very into that. So I'm going to be working on that a little bit more, so that he has like a little sheet so he can do that. But yeah, so there's some things that he's advanced in, and there's some things that he's definitely behind in, but I'm not going to be schooling him like regular school. I want him to know things. He already is really good at writing his letters. I think we might have a little bit of forward and backwardsness, like dyslexia. Did you know there's a different word for the numbers backwards? So I'm also going to be buying one of those rolly screens, one of those touch screen things, to use as like a smart board, because we are going to be getting funding from the schools or from the state. So I am going to be investing in one of those. They're very expensive, but because I'm going to be getting money from the state, I'm going to buy one. I mean, it's going to be something we use every year, not just this year. If you don't know what I'm talking about those giant tablets that are touchscreen, and they're like on wheels. I think that would be really good for us.
Hey everyone!
Because I'm thinking of like what I do in the colleges, and those smart boards are really great. So we're gonna get one of those. I'm also gonna be getting him a second tablet with that funding from the state. So that we have a communication device, because communication devices that people want to obtain from medical insurance, no hate to anybody, I just am navigating things differently than most, so that's all I'm saying. I think they're great, but they are like thousands of dollars, and we break tablets a lot over here, and you have to go through insurance to get those, and there's plenty of apps that offer the same kind of thing. So I'm going to be getting one tablet and downloading specifically only communication apps to work on that. those are the two tech things I'm getting. Let me show you what I'm talking about for the board. They're on TikTok Shop. I found one for $450, which is fine with me. But I think this is a good investment. Oh no, I want the 32-inch. I think it's in my cart. So yeah, we're gonna be, oh, I guess that is the 22-inch, which is big enough. Okay, so one of these things, so that's gonna turn into our, because you can like download all apps, you know, like I could download a little chalkboard app, I could download a post-it note app, I could download, you know, lots of things for us to do together. But he's very much, his ability to navigate the tablets is beyond my ability to navigate that stuff, so, I think that's why I'm going to be investing in those. Let me show you the rest of these. Let's create. You can make anything. So these are just more for me, to stay on task, honestly. They're color coded. Let's spell. Everything has a word. Let's talk. Your voice is important. I am going to be initiating some speech stuff. Niall's speech he's a Gestalt language processor, and he has echolalia. So when I say something, he generally will repeat. If there's not too much pressure. He also has PDA, which is the pathological demand avoidance, on top of ADHD. Let's learn, what are you interested in? So unschooling is very much letting the child lead the way, and then creating lessons in what their areas of interest are. Which is why I'm talking about the kitchen. Let's move, honor your body. Right now, Niall is very good about grounding himself and going back outside to do things when he needs to. Let's play, enjoy yourself. I am one of those moms that doesn't really like to play, mostly because I have a lot of other shit I have to do. It's a whole thing. It's a stigma because everything a mother does is never right, but a lot of moms don't like to play. And let's eat. Your body needs food. I think I'm gonna make another one about resting or healing. But yeah, these are, like I said, things that are gonna keep me on task. And no, I'm not doing an IEP. I've seen other... I've seen other parents do IEPs, and I have no desire to be a part of the public school system in this country at this point in time. The one thing that that Niall does need is more friends, which is another reason I did the ambulance. So that he can make friends, and we can put ourselves out there and stuff like that. But generally, if it's not a space that I have cultivated, it's harder to keep him, it's hard, I mean, his behavior, it's harder to keep him on task, it's harder to keep him safe. All of those things. So that's why we don't really do a lot. If you aren't an autistic mother or father to an autistic person, or parent, I should say, it's a lot different than other kids. Niall was evaluated at a level 7, which is very high. On the it's 1 through 10, 10 being the worst. Especially now with what the administration is doing regarding disabled kids in classrooms and taking them out and putting them in their own school / only teaching them life events, I will never be sending my child to school. Not to mention, special ed teachers are often found to be very, very dangerous. Usually people who are special ed teachers like are control freaks, and they choose that realm of profession so that they can assert control without resistance. So yeah, no, we're not doing that. But yeah, so these are some of the materials I'm making. I'm still looking at. We're gonna get a subscription to, once I get the state funding, I'm gonna buy those two technology things. And then we're gonna get a subscription to Honest History. And I'm probably gonna sign him back up for the Imagination Library, Dolly Parton's foundation. We did that last year. You have to re-sign up every year. So I have to get another application. But that is a program Dolly Parton has that sends a book every month to the kids. Now the books are pretty standard for kids, like, you know, The Little Engine That Could. They're like very standard books, but it's an exciting program because they come in the mail, and you know, so yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot more. I'm still figuring. I want to get a globe. We're gonna be getting $1,700 every quarter this year, so I don't need everything at once. And because we are unschooling and homeschooling, the curriculum, I don't know, I'm gonna be working on the curriculum that I'm building for social justice alongside what we are learning. So I don't know. I want to get more books. I think books are great, but you know, every time I read to Niall, he like freaks out. He has a hard time settling. So I just started putting CBD in his water, so that we can keep it consistent in his body, which is helping. I just started that yesterday, but you can tell the difference. It's important. We have a natural doctor that we get CBD from, but anyway, it's not THC. I'm not getting my kid high. I'm just calming his tits because he is diagnosed. But I, as someone who went through the big pharma system, I have no desire to medicate my child's personality out of him. Is it hard to work with? Yeah, sometimes it's really hard, but I don't want to zombify my child. So, especially at this age, no, kids are supposed to be kids. So that's another thing. I think the reason I'm getting on here and talking about this is because it can be really difficult and scary to go against the grain, but doing what's best for your child is what's important. You know, and I'm thinking like a lot of the other homeschoolers in this area are definitely religious based, and so it's just like, you know, my child has no concept of religion at this point in time. He's never had to go to church. He's never been forced to, you know, do any of that, and I am very proud of myself for that, because what the fuck. But again, that's different than the way other people exist. Especially right now, it can just be a little intimidating. But I'm over here working on some shit, figuring out what it is we need. I also have an ambulance full of stuff. So I'm not really worried. I'm excited to be receiving funding from the state. That's going to be really helpful. I'm very excited about this touch screen. I think that'll be nice, and I think that could be something we could use outside with the ambulance too once we have a hotspot. So again, thinking about things that are, you know, all of the ways in which each of my projects or branches connect to each other, and continuing to invest in those things. I do need to get him some notebooks. I think I'm going to do notebooks to correspond. I don't know. I don't know if we need to do that yet. He's still a little young for that. I think this year we're really going to focus on, it's going to be a mixture between kindergarten and first grade. But he's already really good at, he loves sorting by color. He loves putting things in rainbow order. He does write. I think he knows his letters more than I give him credit for, because we don't really write like that, right? We haven't had a reason to like sit down and write. So it's a little bit difficult because he can't tell me where he's at, but I'm observant and I can see. And I think that my main thing is like kids will learn if you let them have the space to experience and explore. And yeah, I'm not really worried about it. He's very smart, he's very conniving, a little bit manipulative, so I think he will be just fine. But anyway, just wanted to give you an update. That's where we are with school stuff. I'm still not starting. I'm gonna start after Labor Day, just because that's when we always started in my upbringing. So I have an appointment on September 2nd, so I'm probably gonna start Wednesday the 3rd. Let's put it in the cal. Niles' first day of school. So what is that gonna look like? Are we gonna do like front porch photos? No. We're gonna wake up and I'm gonna present things to him a little bit differently. I feel like I need to get like a desk or something for him. Nah. But anyway, does anyone know if PBS Kids is still gonna be around? Like all of the things that have already been recorded? Because that's one thing that we love. PBS Kids, he grew up on PBS Kids. He knows a lot. He knows what's right, he knows what's wrong, but again, he's got some wiring that likes to test the limits. And when his dad was here, he's so rebellious. I'm like, you're surprised? Look at who his parents are. We are both the most rebellious people I've ever met in my life. Of course he is. So anyway, alright, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for being here, and happy school year. Have a good one.